Welcome back to Eternal Sonata.
Whoa,
So we're
hold
back
on, whoa.
We're back in the Andantino base. Basically, one of the hints that we saw, I think the first time we went here, in the Andantino base, was basically look behind a pillar. And behind it...
Hey, there's a note stuck in here. Congratulations on finding this. Take it, it's yours.
This particular score... You need this particular score piece, basically to complete the side quest of the score piece, but this part in particular, if you can play it to, these people, you can get basically the item that you need to access the extra dungeon.
How random!
JRPGs. What is up with JRPGs and people leaving important key items on the floor at random with notes?
Twilight Juju.
Twilight Juju?
Why?
Okay.
I have so many questions of just today.
This guy's parents clearly want him to die a virgin.
Anyway, to address why I all of a sudden gave that gasper, it's like, well, it's weird. Algorithm teleporting in there, that very shot looked like it came out of some PS2 JRPG. I can't recall, but it's on the tip of my tongue. But right there in that shot, it looked like a PS2 JRPG game that I can recall.
There you go. With an anchor S, we managed to cheer up the Grimes, and we get the easy free pass. I know it's... I'm thinking it's supposed to be pronounced easy, but no, apparently it's easy. Anyway, by going back to this place that we were here first time with Polka, when we were returning to the Agogo Forest, we get this cutscene. You can access this as soon as the party is back together in Baroque, like as soon as that. But I really recommend the post-game because this is one of those bonus dungeons that will absolutely destroy you if you're unprepared. And especially under-leveled.
He's the god of hiccups and the patron saint of bread crust. He's the king of sucks and the reincarnation of a flower scorn.
It's like the first DLC pack of...
Yeah, who the heck is A1?
I think it's easy. Easy Eye.
Ta-da! I think I've got just what we need. What's that?
Just pretend that she's holding a ticket.
This is a free pass from the Church of Eze-1. If you chant the spell written on it, then they say you'll be granted entry into the sanctuary of Eze-1. Really? But what are you supposed to do once you get in there? What kind of a question is that? You get to meet with Eze-1 face to face and find out just what kind of guy he is. Yeah, but don't you think this whole Church of Eze-1 thing is kind of weird? It'll be fine, I'm sure of it. Okay, March, go ahead and try chanting the spell.
Why March?
What? Me? The village chief himself has said that nobody's voice is as sweet as yours. So I'm sure that Eze-1 will like hearing it too.
It's Eze, Drova. That's an E. That's an I, not a number one. I know it's very weird being in
Wait,
caps
I thought you said Eze
anyway.
as opposed to easy. Oh, hey, Eze-1's floppy droopy cheeks. They wiggle when he walks and they tickle when he speaks.
Later we'll get a cutscene where Allegretto actually pronounces the whole name, and we'll see.
Wow, this is so exciting! So going off of that description, Eze-1 is either droopy or fat.
We'll see, Java.
So, is this also tied into the...
Alright, with the setting of this game, you would expect this to be very ominous, like a church, like an imposing cathedral, dark shadows and enemy. No. Just no. This is a very weird dungeon. And believe me when I say this, in 20 plus years of gaming, especially in JRPGs, this is one of the weirdest things I ever seen.
Who the heck mixed the North Pole with Majora's Mask here?
Not in a sense that it's, like saying it's super wacky or anything, but for being an optional stuff, there's a lot of weird things going on. First of all, the music, it's already. Second, Allegretto narrates everything that he sees here. In a very weird manner, by the way.
So, Tio.
Yes?
Is this a side quest that's connected to, that thing at the very start where you have to exchange an item for an item for an item?
No. No. And also, yeah, listen to this. The floor actually squeaks under your feet. Different
Wow.
ways depending on the intensity of your walk.
Super spinner
so-
anti-evil charm. What? The fidget spinner is
Go
now
on.
warding
okay.
charm?
It's okay too. And Ferdinand taught me about this. We need to put gloves and socks in our feet. That will work.
I guess.
So Tio, you may have answered this before, but it would have been a long time ago.
Good.
What exactly is the reward to that other side quest that was at the
Items.
start?
Basically, items like sex accessories.
What about at the very end?
Yeah, same steal items.
A really good one?
Like accessories like say the ribbon of Final Fantasy series, like when it protects you from status debuffs. But again, nothing that special.
It feels like Jova's just asking, do we get anything good for going through this?
No, not
Like,
in
is
the sense
there
of,
any
oh,
funny
I feel
dialogue?
so accomplished. No. Well, yes, technically, because you still satisfy the people, so you say, thank you for giving me this. But again, that's what I mean in a sense, but it's not really that worth showing. By the way, it's a good thing that I'm skipping kind of most of the fights here, because the enemies are again super strong, even more so than in the final dungeon or in the mysterious unison.
So are we killing the citizens? Because those seems to be the only
Of
folks
this
hanging
church.
around here.
Don't worry, there will be more people later on.
But
Can we
why
turn off
are-
the sound effects?
And why are
Sorry,
they?
no
why-
cheer.
I'm sorry. Why are these people in our way? Why do we have to kill them?
Because they're there.
This feels a bit weird. Normally we fight.
It's an RPG. They're there.
Hey, Shiri,
They're
more
told us.
squeakiness.
Jova, this is a video game. Well, usually in video games, killing everybody you see tends to work out fine.
I don't know. Undertale
I
says
think if
otherwise.
Mana heard that particular squeak, she'd be very confused.
But that game went completely out of its way to make us feel bad for playing video games to begin with.
And how about Nier, which actively shames you for that?
I honestly, Jova, I think Nier is less preachy than Undertale, to be honest.
Well, my point being is again, it just feels weird because normally whenever we've killed a person, it's either because they're evil or they're mutated into an evil monster that, we're pretty much putting them out of their
remember in
misery.
this case, these enemies are like party swaps of the people that have been altered by the mineral powder. So maybe
Really?
that's why.
I mean, I guess it feels weird. Normally we would get some dialogue before fighting what is pretty much humanoid folk. It just feels a bit random.
Well, how about this, Jova? I know you already gave your final thoughts on the playthrough itself, but just so I can remember.
Hold on, I need to explain this. These pools that the church claims to be, mystical healing water, they're poison. Stay out of them. Not even joking.
Also, are we just hearing Eze-1 the Benevolent, or is the guy there?
It's still... No, we'll meet him at the end. Remember, the
Oh,
goal of this
right.
church is to meet Izzy at the end. And being illuminated by him.
I think I get it. Algreta was reading that. It's a bit unclear.
Alright, this needs explanation, so pay attention, because...
Whoa!
Hold on, go ahead. I'll be this one. Are you the new supplicant who seeks entry into our church?
Why is a phallic symbol talking to me?
It's Man of Steel.
No, I mean, right. I'm actually here to observe. Kind of like a trial membership.
What? We offer nothing so half-baked as that here. If you come to make fun, I suggest you leave at once.
No, I'm not making fun. I have nothing but the deepest respect for the great Eze-1. That rhymed. I have to admit, though, I'm not really sure about whether I really want to be a part of the church. Awkward.
I appeal into the depths of those big eyes of yours. I can see you're not someone who dabbles in lies and falsehoods.
Even though he's a
Very
thief.
well. I will help you become a candidate to join our congregation.
So let me get this straight. The thief class person is actually deemed the most honest.
The statue is very weird. And now we will test to see whether or not you're able to endure the strict training of Ezzy for worse on the thunder.
I thought you were supposed to be clairvoyant.
Pay this particular attention because it describes what the dungeon follows ahead. Oh, it's very simple. When you continue past this hall, you will find a great many Ezzy alarms awaiting you.
Oh, it's
As you
Eze,
might
not
guess from
Easy
their
One.
name, we are part of a highly advanced security system designed to dispatch all intruders, because we have that. If you can manage to sleep by them detective, we will grant you official entry to the Church of Ezi.
Did Solid Snake make this church all of a sudden? What's with the
Go
sneaking?
now, lad. Try your hand at this challenge.
Show your
Basically,
might.
here's how it works.
Well,
Sorry.
I can see why this
Well,
will
it's
be
quirky.
I can see why this will be a tough challenge because the floor is. Wait, what?
No, okay. For this room, it's very specific. Basically, the next couple of rooms will be in a Legend of Zelda style of view. Those statues actually reflect, like it project like a column in their line of vision that you need to avoid in order to not be detective. This first couple of ones serves as a tutorial because they show you where they project themselves. The next couple of ones, no. You need to guess where they end and where they go. So, good luck.
Just enjoy the squeaking.
I
Yes.
swear, this dungeon is so weird and random. Like, not necessarily bad, but it's like, I'm wondering where the
Out
heck...
of place.
I'll say this right now, though. I wish the game had this kind of creativity more consistently throughout its realm.
Okay, now you also get a different cutscene involving your party members when you see these paintings.
Should I?
Go ahead, Shiroi.
Oh. What do you think this is a picture of?
I don't know.
Doesn't it look like Eze attacking some sort of animal? Wait, do we even know what Eze looks like?
Kinda, the statues are supposed to be kind of like a clue.
Huh.
That's what I was thinking. Is he attacking some small animal? A rabbit, maybe?
And oh my god, Serenade may actually get to contribute for a cutscene for
Yes,
once?
Yeah, a
surprisingly,
rabbit.
yes.
And Ezzy is trying to eat it.
Yeah, sorry.
Eze is more brutal than I thought.
Indeed.
No kidding. Why am I saying this to myself?
Swallowing it whole wouldn't be so bad.
Rosetto,
They a
what are you
snake now?
eating?
But I wouldn't be surprised if he was planning on chewing the poor thing up into little rabbit bits.
We're learning. Actually, no, we're not learning. We're speculating so much today. Huh.
I don't know, rabbits are vicious.
Oh, yeah, don't get him to kick you. No!
Yes, cool.
He'd
Into
never
also the
do something
cutscene.
like that. Everyone is kinda cute. Besides, just look. Oh, let me guess, it's one of those tests. Ezra isn't trying to eat the rabbit. He's trying to encourage the rabbit to eat him. Okay. This picture shows
I mean,
the depth
whatever
of
there is
Ezra's
to, I guess.
compassion. He's offering up his own body to feed a poor defenseless creature. I'm sure of it.
Maybe?
Ezra's gonna be a
Artie's so
murdering
subjective.
dick when we meet him, isn't he?
I can kind of see how it might be depicting what March is saying.
Maybe this was just one of those random pictures where there is no deep meaning behind it. No way. It's definitely a picture of Eze about to have a rabbit for lunch. Plain and simple.
It's like we are talking about yeah?
Painting, yeah.
Oh,
you can hear me, right?
Allegretto,
Yes, sir.
you're just terrible!
Go ahead, Pedro.
Allegretto, you only scoundrels make young ladies cry.
You
Thanks for your
don't get to
contribution,
talk!
Serenade.
Huh?
You,
But, but I didn't mean to.
You stay in the back of the room, please.
Seriously, making excuses just makes you look pathetic.
The heck?
It's one of those typical Japanese humor of a male being misunderstood in making a lady cry.
But it's not my fault she decided to
It's
cry.
interesting too, because you didn't seem to like
Ah!
it when it was.
Sorry, go on, Pedro.
It's interesting too, because you didn't seem to like it when this joke was being done in Fairfence Ref with Aaron making Apollonius' fairy cry. You thought it was unfair to Aaron? So...
Well, to be fair, I had more tolerance towards these characters when one in Fairfence Ref. Not in to say that they're still like average, in a sense,
Sure. I know.
but more like in a sense that I was already so much giving up on the party of Fairfence Ref that any
You just didn't
kind of
care
joke
about-
like that. Yeah.
Did you use
Sure. It's like it goes back to what I said when we did the Blue Dragon episode. One of those Blue Dragon episodes. If the show keeps us invested, we're much more tolerant whenever the show gets us out of our comfort zone. When we're not gonna put up with anything.
I will say this
Also,
also.
yeah, as you can see, these monsters are such dicks. And they get to show you a bit of Claves also in battle more, so enjoy.
I love
Go ahead,
Claves' opening line. I can fight! Yes, Claves. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Anyway, Joe,
Also, it. Oh.
Yes, Phaedra?
go ahead, Shuri.
It was difficult at times to take that last scene in any way seriously. You know, they're talking about whether the painting depicts a bunny being eaten alive or not when everyone's squeaking on the floor.
Yeah. Also, in case you're wondering, yes, if you do this, yeah. Well, by the way, if you get
What?
caught and have to fight, you have to restart the room from the beginning. I'm just keeping for your convenience.
What is that
basically,
stuff you're walking in as well? Like, what is that?
oh, it's poison. The liquid. So basically, the problem is that you're forced to get in sometimes in order to, go ahead and progress. Using the lever changes the layout of the statues and basically their cone of the column they're projecting, which basically allow you in turn to progress further into a room. It also goes without saying that if you did this before getting Crescendo and Serenade will not appear in that cutscene, as Claves is in this one.
So I have to wonder then, what would the scene have been like without Serenade? Would Falsetto have just been the one to turn on him?
Just without Serenade line. If you have noticed, Serenade line was basically pointless. It was just there as to add a thing that was already there. So
I guess what I mean is like, well, Serenade is the one who engaged the whole misunderstanding of Algredo joke, so I'm wondering if she's not there, would we not get that
no,
joke
that was Falsetto started it.
Really? Actually, no. Serenade's the one who first says, Algredo, it's terrible to make a little girl cry. And then Falsetto follows up with it.
Whatever. The point being that he plays differently nonetheless. So it's rewarding. In this case, instead, beat Polka, in this case Claves, and Viola are analyzing another paint.
Well, hey, look at the bright side. At least finally Serenade and Crescendo can, I guess, actually contribute in some way,
that's
and
the
we
problem,
finally
Joe,
get
that
some...
This is like an optional dungeon that is silly in nature, so you might as well not have.
So is this the only optional dungeon where pretty much we can add Serenade and Crescendo to the mix?
Basically,
Well, aside from the one where we rescue Claves, but even then they don't really talk to
yes,
that.
Jova. Again, I'm so weirded out by the fact that Christian and Serenade don't get any special line or cutscenes after the first fight with Waltz, because like in the Land of the Dead, for example, you get special battle quotes at the start of the boss fights if you start the fight with Crescendo or Serenade, but aside from that, there's nothing.
So what's this talk about?
Oh yeah, basically Claves in this case, since she's present here, she's telling about the fact that she saw a lot of flowers like that in the afterlife. So apparently Ezzy has something to do with that.
So essentially Claves' character streak is going to be, what would it have been like if Aerith came back from being dead and then talks just nothing about what it was like when being dead?
It's funny that you mention it, Jova, because one of the novels of Final Fantasy VII that have been translated is called The Maiden Who Travels the Planet. I talked briefly about this in our Final Fantasy VII playthrough, but basically it talks about Aerith traveling through the live stream and meeting the other major characters of Final Fantasy VII who have died, mainly President Shinra, Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, and Dyne, one by one, and basically discovering if they can move on in the afterlife or not, because they're chained by regret. For example, Dyne still has regret for what he has did in Core prison, but after the fight with Barret, he has found the strength to forgive himself, and that's what happens. He basically symbolically drops the gun in his arm and moves on to the afterlife. President Shinra instead is still convinced that he was doing the right thing all along, so he's forever bound to never move on, and so on. It's very
it's kind of like it's kind of like a more sympathetic version of the Emperor from Star Wars, except he actually does try to redeem himself in later stories.
And it doesn't get thrown in a never-ending shaft, I guess.
Anyway, Jova.
Oh, go on. Wait, so you tell me that President Shinra actually tries to,
In Advent Children, he does try to redeem himself.
No,
somewhat to
that's
promise
Rufus.
that-
No, that's Rufus.
Well, he is President Shinra at that point.
Well, okay.
True, I was
Technically,
referring
technically he's trying to redeem us from the sins of the father.
I was referring to his father, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, this next one has the remaining party member. This painting is incredibly weird.
I'll just finish
okay.
up what I was saying. It's like, well,
Yeah,
to
go
Gio's
ahead.
credit, normally fans refer to Rufus's father as President Shinra and Rufus as to just Rufus because, you know, President
basically.
Shinra is pretty much just known as President Shinra. No real
I don't
first
think
name
he-
mentioned.
I don't remember him having a very canonical name, so...
I am one of those generic presidents they use on TV to keep shows from getting dated.
Alright.
The idea that shadows exist even in light and light can shine within darkness. Basically the yin and yang.
Of course.
Well, it's true that as he's a god who wears many faces. For instance, he's the god of laughter, but also the god of music. How do I know this is beyond me, but whatever.
Of
Maybe
course.
it's trying to empathize that easy can... whatever. That makes sense.
The heart of man summons darkness. and
He's not a
provides
god
evil.
of anything in particular, so his aspect changes based on the needs of whoever comes to worship before him. Theology with
Is it
JRPG.
intentional that they include the silly-sounding squeaks with these philosophical talks?
Potentially.
Okay.
Not
My guess is they're trying to be somewhat.
It's mood
No, basically,
dissonance.
as you can see, the joke here is a sense that for Crescendo, Jazz, and Frederick are discussing deeply about the meanings of life and death and what we represent. While Salsa is bored as the fuck because she's a kid that doesn't understand these kind of things of the grown-ups. I forgot who's the Crescendo, but
It
whatever.
was
The point being,
either-
well, sorry audience, it's just been a long time since we did the lament.
It really goes to
mirror.
show how little Serenade and Crescendo have talked, considering how we forgot who was voicing
That's the
Crescendo.
thing. Crescendo is actually raising a good point. He's one saying practically what Beat was saying in the final dungeon, like what will happen after what's dead, how the world will recover and actually move on, being stable. Why? Whatever is the matter.
This conversation is boring me to tears. Why don't we
You're
call it quits on the
trying.
lecture and keep moving?
Please stop.
Yes, you're right.
Frederick, I'm over here. What are you
Our
looking
fault-
down at?
Our thought of my future generation may truly be of no consequence whatsoever.
He's thinking.
This
Wink,
angle,
wink.
yeah, that angle, they should have picked a better.
His
a better
face
angle
never
director.
changes movement after, after she leaves where he was looking at. Hey, it's funny with Jazz in mind. Hey, Tio. Funny
Yes.
thing to tell you, and don't worry, this won't get dated because Smash...
Go ahead.
Because,
Go ahead.
basically, this is Smash Ultimate Speculation, and don't worry, folks, this is for base or DLC roster, but basically, there's this little funny joke theory we came up with in Smash Boards. You know Daisy Ridley, the woman who plays, Rey in Star Wars?
Yeah, you told at E3 that you got Daisy Ridley without Star Wars. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Apparently she has two very interesting middle names, one of which being Isabel.
Oh god.
And guess what her other middle name is? Jazz.
What?
Jazz. So basically, someone actually speculated maybe we'll get Jazz from Eternal Sonata in as an eye gecko. Then I did the counterpoint and said, no.
Namco Bandai character, totally.
And then,
Anyway,
and then
you
I-
asked
oh.
for more people. You asked for more people, Jova. There you go. This last room before meeting Easy is full of the one that have been blessed the most by him. Too bad that we're still in the middle of a swamp. So how do we survive? The poison is beyond me.
Beats me. Oh, how could my husband be so cruel? He left me for someone 321 years older than me. You're not gonna leave me all alone too, are you, young little boy who I am clearly older than?
Let's just move
Let's
on.
get the hell out of here.
Why does everyone leave me? When
Okay.
Eze created light, the birds and the beasts became calm. And then the birds and the beasts came to know the astral we all know as heat. What?
In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, then created the animals, then created the vault.
Yes.
Anyway, to finish up the story, basically I
Go
followed
ahead,
it
go
up
ahead.
by saying that Jazz would be more fitting as a cloud echo considering how big his sword is.
True, but if I had to be honest, he's way more slower than Clouds in movements, so I'm not sure how it would work for a title like Smash.
Maybe a semi-clone. Although, I'll be quite
Makes sense.
honest, okay, it would be interesting
I
if they
mean,
did get a rep.
again, if there's a thing that we have learned over the years is that Sakurai can make a moveset even with a rock.
And Lord
So-
knows, Sakurai does occasionally pull characters from very obscure games here and now,
Which,
so
well,
who
that's
knows?
the thing, Jova. Reminder, Smash Ultimate, by the time of his recording, still doesn't have the super unexpected character like, say, the Wii-Fit Trainer or the Dog Hunt Dog, where, so... Sakurai is that loves to prank the players and pulling at least one of these per game. So
Oh
we haven't
yeah!
seen it yet.
That King K. Rool trailer was quite a tease, especially considering how he's the one who voices DVD.
Anyway, again, this is the classic room before boss where you get save points, shops, and basically an inn to rest. In this case, just a platform, which is weird because you still have to travel through the poison, so it's literally pointless getting rest here if you don't have
Maybe
items
it's
that.
ironic. I don't know.
Also, a Moai statue.
So,
I have no idea.
Okay.
Basically, Jova, in that next room, we will meet finally easy face to face.
And considering how it's prepping us up like a boss fight, my fear about Eze being a murdering dick is looking all the more plausible.
That's the thing, Jova. Again, this dungeon keyword is silly, so don't expect anything to be super deep, complex, or epic.
No, I don't expect that. It's a side dungeon, and like I said, it's actually an interesting and somewhat creative
Well, I will
one.
say I'm okay with this dungeon, but at the same time, I wish this was sacrificed in order to make the story, strengthen the story a bit more.
That I can
hold on,
agree.
I'll explain more in a second. First of all, cutscene.
Oh, snap.
There you go, Jova. That's easy.
And the people who have been trying to kill us.
What the heck are those guys doing?
Worshipping, it's obvious.
How about we go and ask them?
Sure, Salsa.
Hey, wait a minute.
Did I mention these
Salsa.
guys have been trying to kill us, Salsa?
I know that these people are evil, but it's still rude to interrupt a holy ceremony, you know?
Let me guess, they're not real, but they're actual shadows.
They're just very
Hey, check it out,
concentrated.
Salsa. What do you think that is?
They want to stop them from sacrificing someone to...
A bottle of booze?
Basically, and drink offerings similar to the Japanese offering to the Temple of the Spirits.
The crossbones on one of those bottles was very, alerting.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. Oh!
Thank you, camera. Look, you show me a Phallic symbol, then you show me Beats rear end. That was, not
And
needed.
yes, we need to fight this thing, complete with a new particular boss theme. This is a test of patience, because this boss is the ultimate sponge, and you can fight the... Remember, this dungeon, exclusive on PSP, is only available in New Game Plus, so this... You're forced to fight this thing at full strength.
Hold on. This is exclusive to the PS3 version, and it's only on New Game Plus mode, so essentially, this is like the ultra super secret reward, not just for
That's
buying the
thing, you have to
game a
understand,
second
Jova,
time, but
this
also
is
for
kind of
going
first
through the game.
This is kind of first example that I showed you this, but the entry crescendo means it's also because of the company. It's also because the company was formed by former people of Tri-Ace. Tri-Ace has a tendency to include in its games optional dungeon with these specific tropes, in a sense that they're very hard to reach and they're extremely punishing. They're the ultimate test of challenges for the player who are the most dedicated to their games.
I mean, I don't take
The primary
too much offense to that.
series doing this being Star Ocean, but again also Valkyrie Profile, and the Resonance of Fate also pulls this. We were saying something, Jova? Sorry.
I don't take too much offense to that. It's just like, well, I feel like, well... Okay, so this is essentially the toughest boss in the entire game, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there could have been more. Also, okay, I'm gonna admit, far as boss designs go, it's not the most interesting.
It becomes a bit weird. Basically, Jova, let me explain how it works. As long as Easy is in that, as is in that form, the gigantic form, he can only stay like that while he's in the light. In the light zone. Because it's that big. During this form, gigantic, he has healing abilities. He cures himself or one of his acolytes, or potentially revives them. Keep in mind, when he heals himself, he is a lot of damage. So if you don't wanna get left behind, you need to damage him constantly. When it's in a dark zone, however, he shrunk. We will see later. He shrunk himself and loses all the healing abilities, but at the same time becomes more difficult to target because of how small it is, and becomes much more aggressive, meaning that your party is in more danger. And pairing doesn't grant you 0 damage. A lot of time you will still get KO'd while being also at full strength and pairing. So basically, it's pick your poison. You want a slow fight, but more, secure, or one that will go down more easy, but at the same time will risk of a total party kill.
I mean,
that's basically your choice.
Okay, the actual fight does sound like an interesting idea of strategizing and whatnot. Again, I'm just wondering, is there more to this, or is this literally all that's left?
All that's left. After this, in the next part, we'll get to the ending.
Mm-hmm. And look, I don't mean to sound, like, well...
There you go, that's how small it looks.
I don't mean to sound spoiled or anything, it's just I think that design feels a bit boring. I mean, let's compare to Final Fantasy VII, where you go up against the flipping weapons, which not only look cool, but are immense.
It's kinda out of place for the setting, if I have to be honest.
Yeah,
like, keep in mind, Jova, statues like this in the game, they've been in the game also in the base game, the Xbox 360 version anyway, so it's not like it comes out of nowhere where they wanted to do
I
this.
was expecting something much quirkier.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like they were going for...
Hold on, we're getting the final cutscene and finally how it's pronounced,
this
damn thing.
And we got away? Wait, I thought we beat it, or did we run? Oh, let me guess. Those guys got away while the people we played as were the ones who stayed behind.
No, it's still, this cutscene still fixed like this.
So it's treated like... So it's treated like we just ran away?
What the heck is that Ezzy guy?
There you go, that's how it's pronounced, Ezzy. Like Sam told you the truth.
No, that can't be it. That can't be it.
Your reward is a scrapbook, basically a couple of pictures, basically artworks made by the team.
So they don't really explain what that thing is?
So, Tio, I'm gonna ask you honestly.
Again, I was, don't worry, there's some small description, but don't worry. Basically, keep these pictures in mind for after we will be done with the ending. My point is, again, I honestly would have preferred if instead of this optional dungeon, we would kind of also to say we would have got something similar to Lament. I mean, Lament in the long run may be considered pointless, but at the very least, it tried to give development to Crescendo and Serenade, and giving an excuse to have them playable early on is like a taste of power. This is just pointless when it comes to plot involvement and placement. Like, give us something to strengthen Crescendo and Jazz friendship.
Wow. Claves, yeah, that picture does not do...
Also, Jova, Pokemon reference, a ghostly hand on his shoulder.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna compare this to the postcard in Super Mario Sunshine. It's not that bad.
It might as well be, though, Jova.
There's a reason, though. I will say this, though. Okay, stuff like that picture with, oh, God, I forgot her name.
Rondo.
Yeah, Rondo actually, I'm guessing, beating Forte in an arm wrestling match. That actually looks interesting. I'm wondering, these postcards, were these all scrap scenes or whatnot? Because here, it feels like we're seeing a lot more character.
No. Again, Jova, I will explain a bit more after we're done with the ending. For now, see you for that.
See ya.
See you then.
See ya.